Hello and good afternoon. So we've got this map here of Africa, and I've heard this before since I started doing this, that Gina, Africa is so much larger than what they say. And I thought, well, it could be, but then let me tell you how this happened. I had a message in my messenger this morning from someone. And it wasn't about Africa, but it was about the actual size of the Earth. Okay, and I thought, well, that's okay. That's all right. I like learning different types of theories. I do. I love learning different types of theories. So I clicked over to the place where it was sent. And thank you, by the way, to the individual that sent me that. I'm not going to talk about that in here. Hello, everyone. But I am going to talk about Africa. So this is really interesting because there has been a study done on it, and not just any study, the certain method that is used, that has been used to display all the maps that we have of the Earth. And really, is that a real size comparison, the method that they're using? Okay, is it? Because that's the question we got to ask, because as you can see from this picture right here, you can fit China, United States, India, Japan, Mexico, all in Africa. How is that? How is that, you all? Ask yourself, how is that? So, I got to remember my train of thought, you all. Yeah. What was I going to do? Okay, I know what I was going to do. I was going to do it. Okay, I'm going to do it, you all. We are going to do this. So I'm not going to mess it up. I'm not. Because let's just look at this, you all. Thank you for coming on here. It is. Africa is bigger than we think. So you can see that there are all these articles on Africa. Just like this. The true size of Africa, it's bigger than you think. Okay. Why do Western maps shrink Africa? Well, you know what? I think that's a very good question. Why do they shrink it? And not just them, you all, not just them. Let me put this back to me. I want to get over here. I want to see where I saw this at. Okay, I got this, you all. We got this. Let's look at this too. Wait a second. Let me flip it. I gotta flip it, you all. We are going to flip it. So thank you. So look at this. We have this thing called I just learned about this. So this is really interesting. We can learn together. If you're up to learning this afternoon, we can learn about this together. We absolutely can, because it's really wonderful. Boom. So the Mercator Projection. I'll try to not have a really long video because I'm just now looking into this. So we're going to wing it. We will wing it, you all. We can. The Mercator Projection is a cylindrical map projection presented by the Flemish geographer and cartographer Gerardus Mercator in 1569. It became the standard map projection for navigation because it is unique in representing north as up and south as down everywhere while preserving local directions and shapes. So yeah, you also, this is good because I just looked into this like 20 minutes ago. So what we did is click into this right here. Let's click into this. Even though it's a Wikipedia, it's okay. We can do this. We will do it. So we got this right here. So look, this has become the standard map for navigation. Oh, what's this? Okay, so you can see these little map things right here they got. Boom, navigating, geography, hydrography. Look at all these tools. So that's really neat. They got these compasses and stuff. It looks all kind of complicated. Yes, it does. It does. It'll kind of look like a little bit of complication. So they got all of that. But we were supposed to be doing this. So look at this. So as a side effect, this is what's really got me when I read it. As a side effect, The Mercator projection inflates the size of objects away from the equator. This inflation is very small near the equator, but accelerates with increasing latitude to become infinite at the poles. As a result, Greenland and, let's see what they're talking about, Antarctica appear far larger than they actually are. Far larger than they actually are. Relative to landmass near the equator, such as Central Africa. So that's okay. So look at this. So I really never heard of this before, but I thought, wow, Antarctica is just massive. It's massive. Well, now we know why it's massive. It says Antarctica is the 5th largest continent, being nearly twice the size of Australia. Boom. So that's what they say it is. Okay, that's fine. That's fine, you all. It's fine, you all. So I want to make sure I get to the one place. I hope I didn't knock myself out of this, you all. I hope I didn't. Okay, now this is what I got. Now we're going to go to Africa, because we like to go to Africa, you all. Come on now, let's look at this and see. That's a good question. Brian Reed, why do planes fly from Australia to China to a UAE, then the USA, which is twice as far as flying to the direct USA? That's okay. So we found ourselves over here, you all. We did. We found ourselves right here at Map and Stance. That's right. It's a blog from richmond.education. So let's look at this, you all. This is where you can find it. Let me do this. Boom, we're going to put this right there so you all can see it too. Put this here in the live stream so you all can see it. And thank you for coming on here, because this is what we're going to learn about right here. So it's a blog on the rhetoric of cartography from students in the Department of Rhetoric and Communication Studies at the University of Richmond. Yes, that's what we got. So Africa is bigger than we realize. So you can see right here, you can see this, bigger than we realize. So look, it's like this. So Africa is much bigger than we think, hence the title. And the map was created by designer Akai Kraus. To start you off, you must know that most maps we see are based on the Mercator projection that came up in 1569. As seen from the map, you can put all these places together to replicate the complete size of Africa. There are two meanings in this map that you must come to understand. Africa is greatly underestimated due to the size of the Mercator projection, and Africa is the motherland for every place in the world. So they're saying that Africa is the motherland of every place in the world. So let's look at this. I wonder if I can, I got this up here so we can see it right here. They call it the mother place of every map in the world, every place in the world. So why is it never portray the actual size? The reason is the Mercator projection is the type of map projection introduced by Gerardus Mercator. And this projection is widely used for navigation on charts because any straight line on the Mercator projection map is a line of constant true bearing that enables a navigator to plot a straight line course. So it's terrible for estimating the size of a large mass of land. Okay, so Africa, it looks about the same size as Greenland, but Africa is actually 13 to 14 times larger than Greenland. 13 to 14 times larger than Greenland. Y'all, let's come over here. Let's look at this Greenland area, if we can. I'm going to pull up the earthquake 3D because I like to look at it. So it's 13 to 14 times the size of Greenland. So it looks really big right here. It really, really does. So could you imagine this being 13 or 14, is that what they said? 13 to 14 times larger than Greenland. Okay, Greenland. Let's pull up Google Earth if we can. I got it right here. Google Earth. Let's look at Greenland. If that's okay, you are. We're going to look at that. Let's look at Greenland. Okay, we can do this. We will. Greenland. We look at Greenland. Look right here. So we're going to go over to Greenland. They got some cloud cover right here, a little bit of cloud cover, but this is Greenland right here on the top of this map. And we can barely see it right there. That's Greenland. Okay. That's Greenland. And this is Africa. So, well, Greenland looks a little bit smaller on this map right here, but that's okay. That's all right. That is quite all right. Looks a little bit smaller. Okay, it does. So there we have Africa. Let me put this back to me. I'm going to get back over here. I don't want to be on here really long. I want to get right over here to this. So flat maps also contribute to the distortion as the land masses toward the pole are extremely exaggerated. So the land masses toward the pole are extremely exaggerated. So what does that mean, you all? These land masses and stuff, they're extremely exaggerated. Is that what they're saying? All of these land masses. I know how we could see those land masses. Let's look at this, you all, because this is, we're going to look at the land masses right here really fast, because these lightning strikes right here, they show the land masses is what they do. Like they're extremely exaggerated, they say. The size of these are extremely exaggerated. All right, near the poles. Right there, we got the Africa. So let's get back to this article without getting distracted, Gina, honey. I am, you all. I promise I'm going to try to get over here and not get distracted. I will not get distracted. Flat maps also contribute to the distortion as the landmass toward the pole are extremely exaggerated. It's also mentioned that the European imperialism is to blame as well, as Africa did colonize and become independent in imperialism. It did not go away. Europeans continued to make maps with Africa distorted to express their power. And ancient modern conquerors chose to make Africa look much smaller to exert their power and authority. And then, as we can see from the map, Africa is bigger than China, the U.S., Eastern Europe, Japan, Mexico, and India. It's bigger, they said. It is bigger. Look, there's China. They fit China in Africa. They fit China in Africa. Hello, Susan, honey. So Africa, right there you are. Now, really, if you think about it, China is supposed to be very populated. And if it's really not as big as they say, then this would make sense. Wouldn't it? I think it might. I think it might, you all. I think it might. So let's see this. So that's not it. That's not it either. Africa is also bigger than Russia, Canada, Brazil, and many more countries. We all consider size equals power. That's true. That is so true, you all. Size equals power. That's really what we have been taught. Size equals power. Oh my gosh. Could you imagine if this theory is actually not just a theory, but it is the actual truth, and there's been a massive cover-up? What then? What then? That's the question to ask. It is a question, you all. What then? So the map makers know this, and a high percentage of people have never been to Africa. And we know Africa from what we see on social media. For example, we see commercials about 25 cents a day to save a child's life in Africa. And from commercials like this, we assume that Africa is really poor. But in reality, that's only a few places in Africa. As I've heard from the people who actually been to Africa, it's the same thing with maps. We think Africa is not as big as other places on the map in terms of imperialism, and we don't think that it's powerful at all. That's the real power of maps. The real power of maps. So the idea that everyone descended from Africa and Africa is the motherland for all people, no matter their race, scientists believe that all Homo sapiens are from Africa, as the earliest remains are all found in present-day Botswana. Scientists have also found a genetic string that researchers were able to figure that every person descended from a woman who lived in present-day Botswana about 200,000 years ago. So the question is, let's hear that question, please. Did Kai Krause think about this idea when representing Africa on his map? I think this is possibly one, but also important meaning of Krause's mouth. Krause's underlying meaning is represented, while the obvious is right in front of us that Africa is misrepresented in ancient and modern maps due to European imperialism and Mercator projection. That's a great big long sentence, you all. It's a great big long sentence. Wow. Finally, one thing I was thinking about is that you could tie this to the idea of counter mapping that we discussed in class. In other words, this map is clearly meant to provoke discussion and debate, and especially to challenge the usual ways like the Mercator that I previously discussed that we see in the maps. Okay, so that's what he did. You all watch this. You all we can do this. Let's click it. Okay, well, so we can see this. You all, they had a really good map. How did I find this? I know what I did. I went over here is what happened. I went over here and I think I clicked into images is what I did. I clicked into these images. And so you can see it. It's like right there. It's right there, you all. Where did they get this idea? That's what you have to ask yourself. Where did you get the idea about Africa, the maps of Africa? I want to see the one thing that I clicked into, you all. I had a thing that when I clicked into it, you were able to see the transformation of Africa on this thing, a Mercator projection. Okay, I did it. We're going to do it, you all, right here. So I did. I looked up Mercator projection. I got to get to it, you all. I'm sorry. This is great. Love it. Love it. I hope this takes us to it, you all. I really do, but it may not. But that's okay, because I wanted to... Not that. Okay, so we can see this thing right here. See, look how big Greenland is. It makes Greenland look like it's that big. It makes it look that big. Makes it look like China is humongous. Okay, it makes it look like that. So look. So now they're saying... America and Antarctica seem much larger than they actually are. Greenland is 16 times larger on the Mercator's projection. 16 times larger than its reality. 16 times larger. It's like, wow. That's right. 16 times. Okay. 16 times. You all, I had other images that I pulled up, and I've got to find them on here. I really do. I want to try to come over here in the history. I think I deleted all my history on here. Let me get over here to you all. I want to find it because it was a really nice... it wasn't that. I had to click into all of these because it's not bringing them up. It's not. Let me see. It was, yeah, right here. Let's see it, you all. We got it. Look at this. So this is so cool. So this is so cool right here, you all. This is the actual size of those countries. Somebody made this map. Isn't that neat that we can see it like this? This is the actual size because they did the Mercator projection. That's right. I don't think we can pause it, but that's the actual sizes. Shrink. It's like they got shrink wrapped. They did. They got shrink wrapped, you all. So isn't that interesting? And you can see the proportions of apparent size and real size that is animated. Jacob Noasad. Look at that. And this is the method. This is the method. Comparison of tangent and secant forms of normal, oblique, and transverse Mercator projections with standard parallels in red. Standard parallels in red. Look at this map right here. So, okay, this is supposed to be, this is the map he did right here, you all. Right there. See, they decided what was going to be what size is what they did. They decided what size was going to be attributed to what. So this ain't the size, and this ain't the size. And that's really interesting, you all. I think it is. It's not the size. This is the real sizes. That is so cool. Parallel through P, true scale on the equator. By the way, I don't know how to read this stuff. I don't, but this does make sense. It does. With this graph right here. Boom. 114 something. So yeah, you all, let me, I'll tell you what. Oh, Gina, honey, can you get back to that? I want to get back. I'm going to put this little thing right here so you can watch it go shrinking. Right there, you all. Can we do this? We will do it for you. So you all can look at that map. I got to get this little thing down away from here, right here. Boom, we got this right there. So you can look at go in and out like that, you all. You want to watch it go in and out. I like to watch it go in and out like that. I do. It's pretty interesting. So we got that. The Mercator landmass, the maps and stuff. They have science topics, water resources, all of this kind of stuff. See, it's not this big according to whatever, and Africa is much larger. Let's get back to Africa because that's where we were starting off, was Africa. Africa. Flaring Africa. Boom. How big is Africa? So, why is it smaller on the map? The world map you are probably familiar with is called the Mercator Projection, which is below, which was developed all the way back in 1569 and greatly distorts the relative areas of landmass. It makes Africa look tiny, and Greenland and Russia appear to be huge. I'm not going to push the play button, you all. I'm not. Okay. How many times bigger is Africa? If you combine the U.S., China, India, Europe, and Japan, they all fit into the continent of Africa. They all fit into the continent of Africa. You can see it right here. Right inside that, right there. And Africa isn't the original name. Adrian Barker, can you put that original name in here for us, please? Thank you. That'd be great if you can do it. I know you can if you want to. So where were we at, you all? We were right here. So who is bigger? Okay, look. So the U.S. can fit comfortably no less than 3 times, and the U.K. can fit in Africa over 120 times. Who is bigger? Russia and or Africa? Excuse me, I got to get a drink. Excuse me. So at 6.6 million square miles, Russia is the world's largest country. You drag it and drop it near the equator, and you see how truly Africa is 11.73. But wait, didn't we just hear that Russia wasn't that big either? Did we just hear that? I thought we did. I really thought we did. The focus for developing the United States of Africa, excuse me, the United States of Africa so far has been on building subdivisions of Africa. The proposed East African Federation can be seen as an example of this. Former President of Senegal, Abdoulaye Wade, had indicated the United States of Africa could exist as early as 2017. Now, this is news to me. I never heard that there was going to be something called the United States of Africa. Did you all? Yeah. So, yeah, I didn't know it. So let's look at this. How many countries does Africa have? 48 countries. 54 sovereign African countries, 2 disputed areas, Somaliland and Western Sahara. What is the smallest in the world? Vatican City. So look at this. So what is the world's largest country? Why does Russia look bigger than Africa? Because the Mercator Projection, the most popular world map, distorts the size and shape of the landmass near the pole. This results in Russia looking bigger than Africa. Actually, Africa can fit nearly 2 Russias inside of it. Let's see this, you all. How many Europes can fit into Africa? If you combine the USA, China, India, Europe, and Japan, they all fit into the continent of Africa. So look at this. Is China bigger than the U.S.? In order to curb China's overpopulation, 1/3 policy was introduced. Well, I'm not going to read that, you all. It is the most populous. It may not hold the most populous title for long. So that's really interesting, you all. So we got that. We do got that, you all. And there's still all these things. Look at all these things on here. All of these things on Africa. I wasn't aware that it was as big as they said. I really wasn't. Look, we got this article from 2022 or 2012 right there. I was not aware that Africa truly was. I've heard, like I said, I heard that it was much larger. But I've always thought that China and Russia are the largest landmass. That's what they want us to see. See? If we come over here and stuff, okay, they're the largest landmass and stuff. And that U.S. was really big too, and Canada. So that's really, really interesting. Where's those lightning maps? Let's look at the lightning maps. Let's look at them. So look at this area right here. Boom. I really did like that one, how it was doing whatever it was doing with the Africa. I did. Look at still this right there. So, I have heard that Africa is the cradle of civilization. I have heard it. I'm sure you all have heard it too. That's right. That's exactly right. The cradle of civilization. So that's interesting, you all. And you all can look at this too. The map shows the actual size of Africa. Infographics. By now, you have probably heard that every map in the world that you have looked at is wrong, and the Mercator projection of the globe is the most common way to display the world. But because a sphere cannot be shown on a flat surface without distortion, the country's shapes and sizes are misrepresented. And in this case, Africa, the bias is quite impressive, according to The Economist. This results in Africa appearing smaller than Greenland, when in fact it's 14 times larger. Boom. So look at that. Kai Kraus, the true size of Africa. So that's really interesting, you. I'm just going to leave it at that. There's no really, you can go do some more research of yourself, for yourself, to look at that, you all. You really can, because there's something to this. It really is. That's right, Angelique. I didn't get to see. Yes, Michael. That's exactly right. That's right. And, you know, there's questions of, you know, how come it takes so long to fly in certain areas, and how come it doesn't. Well, you don't really know what's happening when you're really way up there in the air. You don't know what's going on. That's right, you all. We ain't running out of space. And I heard that, let's look, let me see if I'm going to type this in, you all. Earth is much bigger than we know. Let's see this, if there's a map on the Earth. So let's see this. Just look at a little bit of this, you all. So that's not, I want to get into that. This is a whole new discussion. A whole new discussion. This, I'll stick with Africa right now, you all. That's it. We'll stick with Africa. So I am going to go. I'm going to go, you all. Thank you for your comments. Hopefully this will raise some more awareness, and more people might be interested in what's going on in the world. Okay, they might. And countries aren't as big as we think. So that's that in itself is interesting. It really is. Yeah. So with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello from my heart to yours. Love you. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and thank you, Susan, for being on here. You all, this is really interesting because I just boom, just saw this, and I thought we can explore this together. We can. Have a wonderful afternoon, you all. Love you.